Clashers, and welcome back to another video. And sneak peek number 3 is on the board for the Clash mini update, and we have the Royal Champion. The Royal Champion is coming to the game, and we're starting with her first ability. The first ability is that she's throwing a shield, and, well, she's getting her energy back when she's killing her target. That is something crazy. In addition to that, well, the shield even has a small stun, so this sounds already really strong. Her second ability, which is like the ability which you're unlocking on level 5, is when she's your last mini alive, then she's getting like an attack speed boost to make sure that her chances are looking a little bit better. Then the level 10 ability is what sets her apart. It's just crazy because now you're gaining a bounce, which is just crazy. Let's just rewatch that. You can now chain all of those shields and collect crazy value. It is really insane. So I think I came up with a really decent Royal Champion deck. The reason why there is the Prince in there, even though I'm personally not the biggest fan of having the Prince with ranged heroes, is this example right there. If you're facing off against the King, for example, or like whatever, and he's like the Prince, the Prince is getting the prediction right and knocking your main tank back, your giant skeleton, you have no chance. You have literally no chance. And with this setup, you can protect your giant skeleton with your Prince. That's kind of the idea of this. So that's the deck. I think we should try to find myself, because I'm going to play myself versus the most common decks, which means I'm going to play as Royal Champion versus the King first, and then versus the Queen, because I feel like so far those had been the most successful heroes before the update. So let's see how the Royal Champion is going to match into those two. So first off, one thing which I really feel like is going to be strong with that Royal Champion is just like trying to build a ball around her, which is different compared to the Queen. Because the range of the Queen is pretty much endless. She can shoot over the entire map. Different to the Royal Champion. The Royal Champion has to actually follow and actually has to step up to make something work pretty much. The first round is always hard because the King is really strong in that first round, so it's not that easy to overcome. But our comeback potential is later, so that's where we can get those nice chains with the ability off, and especially with more mini on the field, it's more likely that you're getting those chain resets, and that's why this hero is just going to become really strong. So now we have more minis on the field, and that's exactly what I mean. I'm going to protect my giant skeleton with the Prince, which means if the enemy Prince is now charging in, I'm going to defend that pretty much. That's the entire idea. And now you can see as well why I use the Musketeer in this deck. The Musketeer is like a backline unit which has the most HP out of all of those backline units. Which means if the enemy is playing a Prince, if the enemy is playing a Minor, you have a really great protection. At the same time, if that's not the case, you have a tool where you can push back attacking Kings, attacking P.E.K.K.A, whatever the enemy might bring to the table, and you can push them back from a Royal Champion, so she is maybe getting one or maybe two more abilities off. That's the entire idea. Now I upgrade the giant skeleton. I think that's pretty reasonable, and I found as well that, for example, the Royal Champion against the Royal Champion is really good. Like the giant skeleton versus the Royal Champion is really good as well because of the limited range the Royal Champion has. But either way, let's get back into this match because like the King is not really using a giant skeleton, and due to that you can see the crazy resets coming in with that shield, non-stop resets, and this is giving the Royal Champion the win again. It's really close, but that's the win, which is the second point for the Royal Champion. Now we're keep trying, and you saw already how you can defend your giant skeleton of getting knocked back, your main tank. And with this, it's a good combination of backline threat to like the other Queen player, and at the same time threatening the backline of a King player, for example, as well, or whatever is out there. So I think this deck already is really solid. Looking forward to see your ideas, how you come up with decks around the Royal Champion. Let me know what your favorite deck might be after the update with having the new mini and having the new hero, and what you're looking forward to the most. That would be something really interesting. But you can see already, again, just the explosion of the giant skeleton is so strong with like a King running in, and you can see again the resets are coming in, which means it's going to be a 3-1 victory. So I think, as I promised, we should jump into the second matchup, which is Royal Champion versus Queen. The two ranged heroes now inside this game. So let's see how that's going to unfold. So we have, first off, classic setup, I would say. I don't know yet, obviously, what is the best starting setup with this hero, but I think I would just go with the classic one. The same with the queen. The queen or the healing field, you always go for the same setup. No boulder, no giant skeleton whatsoever. You're placing your 2 elixir mini and then the electro wizard. That's pretty much it, what you're about to do. And that's what is working really great for me because it's giving me the resets. Again, the miner versus the queen. Sometimes it's like the best thing ever. But at the same time, if you're able to defend the miner and the queen is getting her level 10 ability off, like this boost ability, only because of the miner dying in the backline, then it's like the worst feeling ever. So now let's just keep trying and see what we can do in this matchup. Queen, obviously, I mean, we know how queen plays. We know what the setups look like and everything. I'm not going to change things over there. I'm just going to play the regular queen on the other side. And this is then a setup for the royal champion. The spear goblin connecting to the electro wizard is huge, obviously. And this is looking really good then for the royal champion now. Because they're getting the resets with the shield. The electro wizard, one of the main carries, is already down. So that's a little bit rough for the queen then. Let's dive forward. We'll keep using that healing pad, using now the prince onto the healing pad of the queen player to see maybe we can do something over there, and at the same time now waiting so I can set up the queen side as well, because it's kind of tricky playing two because at the same time. So now I want to give you guys an attention, like a little bit of a throwback to the spear goblin and prince interaction. You just saw that, right? There was a tank in front of the electro wizard, but still the spear from the spear goblin is connecting because, well, kind of simple, because the prince knocked back the tank, so the spear goblin spear could connect. So you can see already there is so many cool interactions in this update, which is crazy, which is mind-blowing. Just seeing that 2 new mini and already a new hero is changing pretty much everything which we have learned so far. So that's really cool to see. Now, obviously, let's see how those matches keep going, because yeah, we have to keep trying, because so far Royal Champion is leading. So let's try to have some better setups for the queen, because obviously we don't want to have the same thing happening. Now for the queen, I placed everything in the last row, because except the miner, there's no backline threat. Right, so the miner cannot kill my entire backline, so that's way better. And now with the electro wizard, not every single time getting sniped off from the spear goblin, the queen is looking way stronger at this point now again. So as soon as the spear goblin is not completely deleting the electro wizard from the map from the beginning, the map it's looking actually way more different now. So with the electro wizard now getting more and more level, and it's getting stronger, as you know, it's obviously a huge difference. I feel like the electro wizard, since you're using the prince with the royal champion, it doesn't really fit in there. You cannot really use too many 4 elixir cost units. That's a bit of a problem. So yeah, you can see already electro wizard staying alive, not getting sniped again, and now with that ability, it's looking way better for the queen, and that means the queen is going to win. I think balance wise, what I think, like my first prediction, I think king, queen, and royal champion are going to be the top 3 heroes. If it's going to be true, or if any one of you guys are going to show me some different decks where I really believe in, looking forward to that. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow for the next video. Until then, see ya and bye bye.